Hello friends. Today let us talk about machines. We do lot of work every day. To do the various jobs like lifting things, moving things, cutting, playing, etc., we need energy in more or less amount depending on their difficulty. We use machines to make our jobs easier and simpler. We use simple machines every day. Let us see what this child and grandfather are talking about in the workshop.
Don't run around the machine so much. You will get hurt. Stop, beta.
What are machines?
When you think of machines, you probably think of cars, power saws, airplanes, or anything with a motor. However, not all machines need a motor to make them run. Do you know that hammers and nails, scissors, bottle openers and tennis rackets are machines? And they don't need any other kind of power to work besides a person.
Are they machines?
Yes, because they do work. These machines are called simple machines. A machine is a tool used to make work easier. They help us to do our work quickly and easily. Simple machines are simple tools used to make work easier. Compound machines have two or more simple machines working together to make work easier.
Grandfather, please tell me more about simple machines.
There are 6 simple machines and they all do work. They are lever, inclined plane, wedge, wheel and axle, pulley and screw.
Wow, I did not know this. Tell me more about each one.
First, let me tell you about work. You are doing work when you use a force to cause motion. This kind of work has 2 parts: force needed to do the work and distance, how far the force is used. Here's an example. If you want to put your pet dog on the kitchen table, you must do some work. That is, you need a force to lift the dog a distance to the top of the table. If you want to move 2 dogs at the same time, you must do more work. Simple machines help us cut, fasten, split, lift, pull, go faster, increase elevation of heavy things, change the direction and or increase the force.
Now tell me more about simple machines. Tell me more about levers.
A lever is basically just a long stick that you push or pull against a fulcrum to move something. A lever helps you move something heavy or make something go fast. The earliest levers developed naturally inside animals' bodies. Natural body levers first developed in fish around 440 million years ago. Whenever you pick up anything heavy, your arm bone acts as a lever and your elbow acts as the fulcrum of the lever.
Grandfather, what is a fulcrum?
Levers are simple machines that have a rigid arm around a fixed point or fulcrum. Force is transferred from one part of the arm to another. The input or effort force is multiplied or redirected into an output or resistance force. Levers are divided into 3 different classes. A first-class lever has the fulcrum between the input and output forces. A second-class lever has the output force between the fulcrum and the input force. The third-class lever has the input force between the fulcrum and the output force.
So the levers in which the fulcrum is in between the load and the effort are called first-class levers. Examples of first-class levers are a pair of scissors, pliers, claw hammers, a seesaw and hand pump.
That is right. Now give me an example of second-class levers.
The levers in which the load is in between the fulcrum and the effort are called second-class levers. Common examples of second-class levers are a bottle opener, wheelbarrow, nutcracker, and can opener.
Good. Now give me examples of third-class levers.
The levers in which the effort is in between the fulcrum and the load are called third-class levers. Some examples of third-class levers are forceps, ice tongs, and fishing rod.
I am sure you have understood about levers. Now, the next simple machine is inclined plane.
Do we use this simple machine daily?
Yes, we use it in many places. An inclined plane is a slope which makes work easier. You must have seen how logs of wood or barrels of oil are loaded in trucks. A wooden board is placed in the form of a ramp on the floor of the truck and the ground. Then the log of wood is rolled along the board and is lifted up slowly. On the other hand, if it were to be loaded without board, large force had to be applied. Moreover, it could be dangerous also. This is how an inclined plane makes lifting of heavy loads easier and convenient.
So that in some houses, there is a slope at the entrance. This makes easier to carry scooter or cycles to a higher level. A slide is also an inclined plane.
That is right. Stairs are also a type of inclined plane. Now we can move to pulleys. A pulley is a simple machine that is made of a wheel found on an axle. This wheel will support a belt or cable that moves on the circumference of the wheel. Pulleys are used to apply forces, lift loads, and transmit power. The original pulley was used to lift weights using a block and tackle. When a pulley is part of belt and chain drives, then they transmit power between different shafts.
Are there any types of pulleys?
There are 3 different types of pulley systems: fixed, movable, and compound. A fixed pulley simple machine is one in which the axle of the wheel is attached to a support structure. The pulley will change the direction of a force on the belt or rope. Normally, fixed pulleys are combined with another fixed pulley of a different size or a movable pulley.
The system of pulleys is used to draw water from wells. Some other examples of simple fixed pulley systems are flagpoles, sailboats, simple cranes, and curtains in theatres, conveyor belt, simple line elevators, and window blinds.
A movable pulley is one in which the axle is mounted on a block that can move. With a movable pulley, you do have a mechanical advantage. You can pull with less force for a longer distance to get the same work done. This lets you lift things that would be too heavy for you without a pulley.
The pedaling system of a bicycle is a movable pulley. As you apply force on the pedal, the cycle which consists of the pulley moves and the rider is also transported from one place to the other. The construction cranes also use movable pulleys to carry heavy construction material to the site. Some amusement park rides, some elevators, and cable cars use movable pulleys.
There is one more type of pulley. The compound pulley is a block and tackle that contains movable and fixed pulleys. This provides the most mechanical advantage or change of force.
What is the next type of simple machine?
The next type of simple machine is the screw. A screw is an inclined plane wrapped around a central core into a spiral shape. Screws can do 2 things. First, they can convert a force that goes around and around into a force that goes up and down. Second, screws can thread into things like wood or a metal bolt so that the 2 things are interlocked and can't come apart. That's the most common use of screws today.
So the old wooden oil presses worked in this manner. Also, screw caps on bottles, screw jack used to change tires of vehicles, and nut bolts are some examples.
Correct. Now, let us move on to wheel and axle. We can find a wheel and axle used almost everywhere. The doorknob is the wheel, and the rod connecting the knob to the door is of course the axle. A wheel and axle has two parts to it, the wheel and the axle. The axle is a rod that goes through the wheel. This lets the wheel turn.
Why do we use wheel and axle, and where?
A wheel and axle helps to move objects. The faster the axle is turned, the faster the wheel spins. The common examples are egg beaters, sewing machines, grinding machines, etc. Bicycle and steering wheel of a car or bus are other examples of wheel and axle machines.
What is the next type of simple machine?
The last type of simple machine is the wedge. A wedge is a simple machine made up of two inclined planes put together. These two planes meet and form a sharp edge. It is shaped like an A.
Why do we use it?
Wedges are used to push two objects apart or cut an object into pieces. It can hold objects in place. A wedge gets in between objects and splits it apart. An object like wood can be split apart with an axe, which is a wedge. A fork is considered a wedge. It is made up of 4 to 5 wedges put together. It can be used to cut or split wood apart. A knife is a wedge with a sharpened edge that can cut objects into pieces.
I learned a lot about simple machines today. Is there any other type of machine?
The other type of machine is compound machines. A compound machine is a machine that consists of two or more simple machines put together. Most machines that we use on a daily basis are compound machines.
So you see friends, we are surrounded by machines. A machine is a tool that helps us do work easily and more efficiently. There are two kinds of machines, simple and compound. Simple machines make work easier for us by allowing us to push or pull over increased distances. Compound machines is two or more simple machines. There are 6 types of simple machines. A lever is a stiff bar that rests on a support called a fulcrum, which lifts or moves loads. Levers are of 3 types. Class 1, when fulcrum or support is in the middle. Class 2, when load is in the middle. And Class 3, when effort is in the middle. An inclined plane is a slanting surface connecting a lower level to a higher level. A screw is an inclined plane wrapped around a pole which holds things together or lifts materials. A pulley is a simple machine that uses grooved wheels and a rope to raise, lower or move a load. The fixed, movable and compound are types of pulleys. A wheel with a rod called an axle through its center lifts or moves loads. A wedge is an object with at least one slanting side ending in a sharp edge, which cuts materials apart. This is all for today. I hope you find this interesting lesson more informative. Till we meet again, take good care of yourself.